Let's look at Snails by Laura Hamilton Waxman. Snails have shells. Something is hiding in this shell. Can you guess what it is? Surprise! This is a snail. Snails have soft, slimy bodies. On their backs are hard shells. This snail moves slowly along a leaf. Many snails have round, spiral shells. Some snails have shells that are long and pointy. This sea snail has a spiky shell. Sea snails live in the salty ocean. Where else do snails live? Some sea snails' shells are very colorful. Freshwater snails live in ponds, rivers, and streams. Freshwater is not salty. These snails live in fresh water. Land snails live in forests, trees, and gardens. Some live on mountains or in deserts. Snails make slime. This land snail is leaving behind a slimy trail. The trail is made of mucus. A tiny sand snail creeps across a leaf. The mucus trail helps the snail move. It is like a slippery road. The snail slides over it easily. A snail moves along its flat bottom. This body part looks like a belly, but it is the foot of a snail. A snail has one flat foot that helps it move. At the front of the foot is the head. Most land snails have 4 tentacles on their heads. Can you find the snail's 4 tentacles? Look closely at the ends of the 2 long tentacles. Do you see 2 black dots? These are the snail's eyes. A snail can only see dark and light. It uses its 2 shorter tentacles to feel where it is going. These snails cannot see each other well. They will use their tentacles to find their way. A snail's mouth is near the front of its head. Most land snails eat plants, but some snails eat animals. This is the snail's mouth. Snails stay safe. Snails look for food in damp, dark places. They try to stay out of dry, sunny places. Do you know why? A snail will die if its body gets too dry. It can go inside its shell to stay cool and moist. These sea snails stay safe inside their shells. Some land snails hibernate in the cold winter months. The snails go into a deep sleep. Mucus seals their shells shut. This garden snail is ready to hibernate. Are these snails hibernating? No, they are hiding from a predator. Predators are animals that hunt and eat other animals. Many predators like to eat snails. Hedgehogs eat snails. Snails lay eggs. This snail is laying eggs in a hole in the ground. Snails hide their eggs from predators. Inside the eggs are baby snails. What happens to the eggs? These snail eggs are hidden in a leaf. The eggs hatch. Out come tiny snails. This tiny snail just hatched. Baby snails are hungry. First, they eat their eggshells. Then, they look for tasty plants. A young snail eats and eats. It grows bigger and bigger. Its shell grows too. A young snail hitches a ride on its parent's back. This slimy snail is all grown up. Fun facts. Snails live all over the world. They come in all sizes. One of the largest snails can be found in East Africa. Some snails can live to be 20 years old. Snails that live on land tend to chew their food loudly. If you are near a large land snail, you may be able to hear it crunching and munching away. Snail racing is a popular pastime in some parts of Great Britain. Snail diagram: shell, foot, tentacles, eyes, mouth on the bottom of the surface foot. Glossary: fresh water, water that is not salty. Hibernate, to go into a deep sleep-like state. Mucus, a slimy liquid. Some snails leave behind mucus trails when they move. Predator, an animal that hunts and eats other animals. Spiral, a curving shape that circles around and around. Tentacle, one of the long, flexible limbs on the heads of most land snails. Index: eggs, eyes, foot, freshwater snails, head, hibernation, homes, land snails, mouth, mucus, ocean, predators, sea snails, shell, size, tentacles.